You know, I actually thought that I would never miss a Kombat Kast, but apparently I did. I was dumb enough to believe that the Kombat Kast would be a Thursday thing, but apparently Thursday was never a written date. Apparently that was just a thing that actually just happened, and I just thought that it was a thing. So the Kombat Kast happened on Wednesday and I managed to miss it, hence why this episode is coming much later than what would usually be expected, which is my breakdown, or what I would like to call my Mortal Kombat 11 update feed. So, I don't know, things happened, and bear in mind, Johnny Cage, did someone say Johnny Cage? Did someone say my main man Johnny Cage is in the game? It was kind of obvious, but you know, sometimes you have to put the benefit of the doubt that things might change, but NetherRealms tends to show us that things don't always change all the time. So anyway, let me break it down for you with the Johnny Cage trailer.
I know studio execs tougher than you.
No suit's gonna slit your throat.
Have you been to Hollywood?
Fight! Finish him!
Cut! Reset!
Deadly uppercut, take two.
Action! Cut!
Who hired this guy? What the fuck?
Deadly uppercut, take 19.
Fatality. Johnny Cage wins.
So, what happens in this series of videos is that I like to document any changes, document any design decisions, and the things leading up to the reveal or the release, global release of MK11. Bear in mind, some people are playing the game as we speak. I won't name who, let's just say rest in peace Tweedy. You're taking all the shots for all of this nonsense happening right now, but I'm on your side, man. I might be the only person on your side, but let me just say, sometimes shit has to be called out. Shit has to be called out. There's no way certain things can happen and people just sit by and watch. And I feel like with NetherRealms as the development studio, they have gotten away with a lot of shit over the years. Excuse my language, but at this point, it's justified. But anyway, moving on to the Kombat Kast and why exactly we're here, the updates, what exactly has happened. So, firstly, just like every Kombat Kast, they keep on messing up the audio sync all the time. All the damn time. Can someone explain to me why is it so hard for a multi-million-dollar industry to run one stream without a problem? Just one stream. Not two, not three. Just one stream. The reason why this touches my chord is that I have to live with what I have, the equipment that I can afford. I can't buy new tech. So any issues that I have to live with because they're out of my budget to fix. I need a new microphone, I can afford one. I need a new mixer, I can afford one. So much stuff I need equipment wise to increase production values. I can afford it. They have it in abundance. And this, I'm talking about money, and they still can't run a single trailer without issues. I don't know, I just feel like every time it happens I have to bring it out, and I'm 3 for 3 right now. 3 for 3, but at least it's better than Kabao's Kombat Kast. That was a disgrace. That was bad. That was really bad. But anyway, I like doing this because it helps me stay in tune with the NetherRealms community and the MK community, because this is generally a franchise I've fallen out of love with, and I feel like at certain situations you have to put your emotions aside and just analyze the game for what it is. So in this case, I'm giving you my thoughts and my feedback from each Kombat Kast, since that's my main source of material for the game. That's where most of the game is being explained, and it's always interesting to gather thoughts and information. That way when the game comes out, we can then think about it and discuss and say, is this really what the game, like when we were shown the game and when the game finally came out, has anything changed, has anything improved, and has anything gotten worse? So the more I talk about it with people, the more I have these long arduous discussions, things just seem to get worse. But the thing is though, to me it's not a bad thing, because I expect the worst from NetherRealms. I don't know, maybe I'm just a hater, but anyway, this video, if you haven't noticed, has a lot of my opinion and less of the actual gameplay, because this Kombat Kast was epically short, but there was nothing much I could do. So Johnny Cage, big reveal. I love the character. I like how I actually wrote down this quite a lot, and I wrote on this, and in particular Baraka as well. Looking at Baraka and Johnny Cage, you can see that there are certain aspects of their character, their personality, that are just translated well into the game. Of course, newer games mean newer technology to make the games. Motion capturing is better. We have different graphical interfaces, different graphical features that are just better than previous games. It's obvious because technology is getting better. And this has helped so much in bringing out the character of Johnny Cage, and like I said, Baraka as well. I'm so happy with what they did in terms of their personality. If you look at Baraka, he's got this feral thing about him. He is very wild but disciplined. He shows a lot of emotion in his attacks, and like when I watch people play Baraka, I feel hyped, I feel pumped up, and I feel like looking at Johnny Cage, I'm getting the same expression. This cool guy, this actor, you know, you actually get to feel that Johnny Cage is an actor. It's all a set, you know, he's this big macho guy in ego. But when you look at the person, he's this humble, nice, smiling guy, you know what I mean, loving dad as well. It's always good to have that strong male figure, in my opinion, because that's a stereotype that's actually not shown much of. It's usually the guy who's the lesser and the woman's the strong figure. And I feel like Johnny Cage has come out quite a lot in this game to be someone very respectable, someone very fun, someone whose personality you can invest yourself in. Or maybe it's just me relating to Johnny Cage, I'm not too sure. But when you look at characters like Johnny Cage and Baraka, that in my opinion is the epitome of what character creation should be in terms of their animations and their personalities. The animation and the personality should go hand in hand to create the character, which is actually some of the problems Mortal Kombat X, in my opinion, one of the reasons why I hated it, one of the things it didn't have. Kitana's a princess, right? But what in her playstyle, what in her demeanor portrays that? What animation, what move, what fighting style portrays that Kitana's a princess? I don't see it. Kotal Khan is like the ruler of Outworld, you know what I mean? But at best I just get this Aztec feel. There's nothing kingly or royal about Kotal Khan, even though maybe it's not supposed to be. But honestly speaking, there were a lot of mundane characters in MKX, like for example Takeda. Really is supposed to be a lost, angry child, but I don't know, it's like what he's supposed to be, how he fights, how he looks, how he acts, have nothing to do with each other. And I'm glad most of that is being thrown away and they're fixing these things in MK11. But still in 11, there's still remnants of very mundane characters. Shout outs to Scarlet, super fucking mundane characters. Garrus, understandably so. He's, you know, some soulless thing. We really don't know much in terms of his story. We just know that he's an emissary of Chronica. But still, there's remnants of very mundane, very boring characters, which scares me. It scares me a lot. But I hope that the story will then flesh out their personalities. But if the story fails, and in game really they don't do much or act in a certain way, most of these characters will be dead to me. They'll be dead to me. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who cares about things like that. Maybe certain players just look at the functionality, the functions, as Peter Combo Fiend Rosas once said, they're just functions. That's what we are drawn to, their functionality, not who they actually are. Yeah, and look at what happened to him. But anyway, if we look at the game user interface, I'm always keeping an eye out in terms of graphics and the UI to see if there are any changes. And like I said in the previous Kombat Kast, the graphics don't seem to be changing, and this is a sign, graphically speaking, that this is the end game in terms of development. It's done. There's not much visual fidelity that will change in this game, and what you're seeing is exactly what you're gonna get. So don't expect any miraculous graphics upgrades or improved textures if you have problems with the textures and the graphics. This is exactly how the game is going to be, sadly. If you're expecting more, this is it. This is it. I don't know. Maybe go play Samurai Showdown. It's coming out in May. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I noted that on the meters, the offensive and defensive meter in the previous Kombat Kast, they were numerical values to indicate the current stamina values for your offense and defensive meters when they were regenerating. And at the time I was talking about how this could potentially be a great way for players who like DDoSing their meter to keep track as to when next they'll meter burn and stuff like that. Typical DDoS fundamentals, right? That seems to be gone, and I don't know if it's gone for good or they're still experimenting with the build. I don't know. I personally do not know, and I wouldn't be any wiser to tell you yes or no. Just know that for now the numerical values are gone. Whether that's good or bad, that's up to you, and if DDoSs matter. But they're gone. Otherwise, the overlays relatively seems the same. We haven't seen much of the menu, so I can't speak of those. But in terms of the offensive, defensive meters, the life bars, the times, the life values, the icons on screen when comboing seem relatively the same. So in terms of presentation, what you're seeing is definitely what you're gonna get. I don't know. There's a lot of thoughts that went into this, and I feel like this is a discussion that can go on for a very long time, and it's stuff that I'd been discussing with fellow players and colleagues, and with the release of Johnny Cage, it seems like it's a reoccurring theme. It keeps on coming back over and over again. I heard this when they were describing Cabal, I heard this when they were describing Baraka, I heard this when they were describing Garrus, I heard this when they were describing Johnny Cage. It's just keeping on. It's just a reoccurring thing, and to be honest, I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. And the honest truth is, it all comes up in this statement. Think of any character and just put this statement after that name. X character is not difficult at all and is easy to pick up for anyone playing the game. That was a quote. Bear in mind, I've heard that multiple times for multiple characters. This character is not difficult at all and is easy for new players to pick up. Seems to be a reoccurring theme that characters are just easier. Compare MK9 Cabal to Cabal now. Compare MKX Johnny Cage to Johnny Cage now. It's just watered down in terms of execution and skill requirement. And I had one long discussion today actually with one fellow tournament player of mine from who's taken part in ACGL and other like stuff, and even he was worried, saying that the reason why most or all NetherRealms games from MK2 Injustice only ever last 2 years or more, besides development politics, is because there isn't really much depth in the game that would keep people playing that long and entertained as much as they were in the first months. It tapers off, everything seems to be too easy, and the hard stuff is easy to grasp. So I don't know, I don't want to go into a big discussion because I don't want this video being too long, but this is something that is scaring me the most. This is actually something that's making me not want this game at all. But I'll save my emotions for later. Maybe things might change, but as it stands, I don't see myself really investing much money or money at all in MK11. I might play it, but I'm definitely not gonna buy it. I don't know, it's bad. And this conversation started from that statement and the fact that meter burning is now the right bumper, or R1, or the interact button. So initially in the past, in terms of MK11, what meter burning was, or amplifying, was that you would do a special move, and each individual special move, and bear in mind there are many special moves in this game, many, as per character, per game, there were many special moves, and most of them you could amplify. So in this case, each special move would have a unique command that you could use to then amplify the special move. So let me give you an example. This may not be the case, but I hope it serves as a purpose to help you understand what I'm talking about. Imagine if there's a special move that's commanded back forward 4, which is back forward circle or back forward B, depending on your controller, right? That would be the special move, and if you want to amplify it, maybe you could then press down down 1, or down down square, or down down X, depending on the pad you're using. So that's just how you amplify that one special move. Switch over to another special move, maybe the special move is down back 1, then maybe amplifying is just mashing 2, mashing triangle, or mashing Y. That's how you amplify that move. So this kind of created depth in learning a character, meaning that when you switch characters you have to learn a whole different amplification system on top of a crushing blow mechanic. This created character depth. Maybe that would have been enough to stop people from just learning every character in the game and just counterpicking each other, because characters now have depth and require time to learn. But that's gone. That's gone. You now press interact, which makes everything a whole lot easier, like a whole lot easier. No matter what character you play, you just need to know that I need to learn the special move, then I'm just amplifying or meter burning with my interact button. That's all you need to know. Even a baby could do that. It's fucking easy, super easy, so easy, so easy I might not even buy the game. That's how easy it is. But anyway, we can look at the positive side. It's not EX moves or enhanced moves like Mortal Kombat X, in the sense that you're not using block, you're using interact, right? After the move connects. The one good thing I can say about using the interact button is this. I'll give you one example. There was a time I was using full auto Jackie Briggs. There are certain situations whereby at a given range, someone can jump over the gunshots clean and land a combo on you when they land. The problem is Jackie Briggs is stuck in the firing animation until all shots are fired. So you're usually tempted to hold block, to block as soon as possible, because you know you are about to get punished. But the problem is that would then enhance the special move, then you shoot the rockets, so you waste meter and you're still punished. But since you're using the interact button instead of the block button, it means situations like that would never happen. At worst, what would happen is You fire your gunshots, someone jumps over them, and before they punish you, you just block if you can, or if it's too late you can't block, but you're not gonna waste meter doing so. But meter is free in this game, so it doesn't matter either way. Easy stuff, right? Anyway, I don't know, I could go on forever. But anyway, meter burn is simple. It's been changed, and the occurring theme seems that not much execution is required to be good at this game. I didn't see no instant air this, I didn't see no run cancel that, I didn't see no, all these things are generally gone. Remnants of them stay, remnants, but not really good enough. So no real execution required, no real cancels required, not much skill overall required to be good at this game. It's a game that's now focusing on the fundamentals of what a Mortal Kombat should be, or at least a Mortal Kombat Injustice hybrid should be. And I don't know if I don't like it. I mean, I don't know if I like it, but chances are I don't like it, really, honestly speaking. I'm not even going to lie and say that I'm on the fence on this one. I don't know. I do not know. Let the world take note that I said I do not know about this current situation and this game. But it's good, I guess. It's good. Opinions change, and we'll see as time goes on. And lastly, players, bear in mind this change with the meter burning came from player reactions. I feel like no matter the situation, players should not influence game creation and game development. Fair and fine, we can cry out when something is unbalanced within the release of the game, but as the game is being made, your opinions shouldn't really matter unless this is Kickstarter. Is MK11 a Kickstarter project? No, I don't think so. It's already funded. $1 billion project, right? What I say, what these tournament players say shouldn't affect the game, because the thing is now tournament professional players have changed game mechanics that other normal players like my colleague liked and thought brought depth. But since these tournament players wanted something easier, something that they can use to make money easier when they go to their tournaments so that they can counterpick each other or whatever it is, they have changed the game to benefit their pockets, their wallets. Rest in peace, Tweety. I can hear your cries right now. But these players have ruined the game for the rest of us. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Just because some guy is your evil champion doesn't mean he should dictate how I play the game. I don't know. But yeah, besides that, last thing I would like to say is that it seems that, like I was saying in the past when it came to Jade and Kabal, seems like certain characters in the roster seem to be getting given certain unique game mechanics that were unique to previous Mortal Kombat games. So for example, with Kabal, I believe I talked about him having air dashes similar to Injustice, and in particular Hellboy. And we talked about Jade having the run from MKX. I'm sure maybe there's something else I talked about, but I forgot. So if Jade has the run from MKX, Kabal's got air dashes from Injustice, and now Johnny Cage has a pseudo run cancel because he can cancel his fatal blow or his FB. So he can do FB run cancels in essence. He can string, FB cancel, and continue with another string. Bear in mind, you don't lose a FB or a fatal blow if you don't use it. It only goes permanently if it lands and you get the animation. So in essence, you could potentially use it in your first round to do a cancel big damage combo, and then move into your second round to still have a big damage combo within the fatal blow itself. So interesting stuff. And the Nadeshko setups are really great. Really great. I love Nadeshko. I love Amika. So to have Johnny Cage be Amika, who knows? But anyway, that's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. That was another Mortal Kombat 11 update. I hope you are happier, and I hope you are more hyped for this game than I am. I fell off the fence. I'm no longer on the fence. I feel like I'm on the other side of the fence. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Apparently we're getting to see Kano, and I know one Smooth Jarvis who's very hyped for Kano.